Welcome back to Lock and Reload. So we're going to go ahead and bring another knife to the table. We're going to go ahead and bring on the Cold Steel G.I Tanto. This knife was developed by Cold Steel to go ahead and compete with every other manufacturer out there, like every manufacturer does. They go ahead and compete with themselves. This knife was developed for a good quality combat knife, a good survival knife, and just an all-around good throwing knife. Cold Steel has an excellent video when it comes to the stress test on this particular blade. Again, this is an untested knife, but we're going to go through some of my data points on what I like about it and what I dislike about it, and then hopefully throughout the entire summer we're going to go ahead and put it through its paces, and then at the end of the year, like all my knife reviews and most of my reviews, we go ahead and do an after-action report or an after-action review. First off, the sheath that it is encompassed in is a Secure X sheath that is a polymer material that Cold Steel developed. It is a very positive locking when it comes to, taking out the knife and put it back in. Got a positive lock on it. It's one-handed operated, that you can pull it out one-handed and push it back in. Also, if you can see that on the blade, on the actual sheath itself, it's molded for the actual blade. So it only goes in one way versus like my LMF. My LMF actually you can put in right-handed or left-handed. This one can only go on the right side. Now the back side of this particular sheath, it does have your standard nylon, and you can go ahead and adjust the ride height on it. You have the different holes that are up here. You can go ahead and adjust that. So if you want the belt loop to ride lower on the actual sheath, you can go ahead and do so. Also on the back side, it does have your snaps for the actual handle. And they oversized it so you can go ahead and pull it off with your one-handed pull-off on it. That being said, more of the nylon. The nylon seems to be a good quality Cordura nylon. The actual sheath itself is, hot damn. It is single stitched. If you know anything about single double stitched, generally you want something that's double stitched. Unfortunately, they only single stitched it in here, so that may cause a problem in the future when it comes to fatigue. With the nylon, with the belt loop, you can go ahead and pull the Velcro off. It's got a redundant system on it, so it's got your Velcro, and it also has a snap, so it positively secures. Now, according to Cold Steel, it's a good idea. I do not like the Velcro and snap. I find it very redundant. Two, you have to have that perfectly lined up to snap it, and I have a chest rig that has that same option, and I really don't care for it. But again, we'll find out at the end of the season to find out if that actually held up or not. That is one of my concerns with that particular sheath. The snaps they're a decent grade and a decent quality, but then again, you're looking at the price point of this knife. This knife, you're not going to spend any more than $40 for it. Generally, you can get it for $29, $39. Some places, carry it for 20 bucks. So that's pretty much the sheath. Now, the actual blade, the actual G.I Tanto. Now, we'll go through some of the specifications on this particular knife. This one, the overall length of this knife is 12 inches. Now, the knife itself weighs 10.6 ounces. The blade itself is 7 inches. So the blade itself has it's got some real estate. It's a really good, solid knife when it comes to length. Generally, for a good combat knife, you want something that's a little longer, because then you can reach out and touch whatever is threatening you in a combat situation or a survival situation. So it makes a good defensive, solid defensive knife. This one is made out of their 1055 carbon steel, which Cold Steel, again, price is oriented based on their current economy. They make a really inexpensive knife, but a really good quality knife. So they don't put the high dollar steel in it, but they also don't put the low dollar steel. It's a good quality carbon steel. Right out, and by the way, this is a Tanto edge. That's why they call it the G.I Tanto. It does have a double edge, so it has the false edge up here. So if you wanted to go ahead and put an edge up there, you could probably go ahead and do so very easily. Now it is a full tang, so it goes all the way into the handle. The actual handle is made out of polymer. The cool thing is, the cool but bad feature about this is you can go ahead and take your handle off for cleaning, or just take it off completely and go ahead and paracord it if you deem it necessary and you want to go ahead and do so. The handle does have lanyard lash hole, so you can go ahead and put a lanyard on it, paracord, whatever. Now the drawback to having a handle that is essentially bolted together, they could loosen, they could fall off, but who knows. There are always woulds, coulds, whatever. Anyway, again, this particular knife and this blade is made in China. So again, it is their good quality carbon steel. And like I stated right out of the box, this thing comes with an excellent edge. I don't recommend going ahead, cutting, delicate fruits and whatnot. It doesn't have that kind of edge, but it does have a good combat edge. Now it does have the, I don't remember what you call those things, but the little hand guards on here, and they're pretty adequate. Now this is a very, very well balanced knife. To the point where you not only can use it as a combat knife, survival knife, but you can also go ahead and use it as a throwing knife. So again, it's a really long but really sturdy defensive knife on top of that. And again, these are some of my data points. Your opinions may vary. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but these are just some of my thoughts. And again, this is an overview like most of my gear reviews, because I do an overview on what I like and dislike about it right away, and then at the end of the season or at the end of the testing, we'll come back to this knife, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. It is what it is. So again, this is the G.I Tanto. If you have any questions, concerns, leave them at the bottom. Feel free to rate, subscribe to my channel. This is LockNReload with yet another knife review. As always, I'll catch you later.
She said, I've got Napoleon complex. I don't know why, but I think she's right.